Hi, my name is Les, and this is a digital book report for MARK9057 Social Media Marketing. Now, I decided to stretch my limits because we've learned so much in the class, and I decided to do a video blog. So, here's the book I decided to do. Dun-dun-dun-dun! If you can see it there. Engage by Brian Solis. And I tell you, this book is something. It really is something. This man, he knows his stuff. I mean, he knows his stuff. And what I liked about this book, just to give you a preface of it, he's really down to earth. And with that being said, I don't know a lot of business terms, business terminology, and all these fancy things that sometimes you get these books spiel out at you. But what he did is it's almost like he took your hand and just kind of walked you through it. What's great about it, in the back of the book, there's actually a glossary. You can see it there. There's a glossary, which is really handy. But what's even more handy is that when he explains, let's say in a chapter, some new terms or some new terminology or some new acronyms, he actually, once again, takes you through it, and he even gives you almost like a little mini glossary underneath with the examples and with the definitions. So you're not constantly flipping back to the book and being like, okay, that's what it is. Okay, let me go back to what I was reading. So that's what I really like about it. He really takes his time in explaining. It's not, like I said, it's not a lot of big fancy words, but it's good. It's I would say it's an easy read. Meaning that you can get through it and you take your time and you're good. I also did find that there was so much information that it was almost like overload. Honestly, there were times where my head was spinning and I had to just kind of put the book down, try and absorb what the man just told me, and just said, okay, all right, I got it now, and then I would pick it back up again. My book has tons and tons and tons of highlighted pages. I've got I don't know, it's hard to see, but I've got different colors. I've got blue and yellow, I've got pink, I've got pencil marks in there. There's some chapters where it's just a whole bunch of things just highlighted, right? And it's one of those books that you will be able to come back to afterwards and get the information that you need or whatever you're searching for. Because like I said, there's a lot of information here. What's really good also is that he touches on a lot of things, all right? So, I mean, yes, there are specialized books out there on, excuse me, SEO and Facebook marketing and Twitter, and the man goes through all of it. So, I mean, when he says the complete guide for brands and businesses to build, cultivate, and measure success in the new web, the man ain't lying. You know, I mean, it really is. And even upon further research, this book has, the guy's an award-winning writer, author. The book has become known in the industry as kind of like your go-to book. So it's really good, and I'm really happy I bought it. I'm even happy I got it on sale. But I'm really happy I got it, and like I said, I'm definitely going to be going back and forth for information in this book. All right, so with that being said, I would like to just touch on some things that really, really stood out to me in the book. I found this really neat website called, I think it's called Quote Maker. And I made a whole bunch of quotes just from what I found in this book. And I'm so going to print them out and just post them around because they're really motivational. And like I said, they're not wordy, but they really resound and kind of hit home. Like one of my favorite one is engage or die. It's short, it's sweet, but you know what? It's really to the point because even in the book, there is so much, and he keeps coming back to it about engaging. And he keeps explaining to you what it is, so it really sticks in your head. I mean, engagement is not one side, right? So it's a communication, it's a dialogue between two people, right? So a lot of people, or even just scrolling through the web, right, trying to find examples. And when I look at the web now also, when I go through to my social media pages, like Facebook, and I look up different businesses, and I go through, some of the posts and whatnot on there, whatever he was talking about, I'm seeing it there. I'm seeing there's a lack of dialogue, there's a lack of back and forth, there's a lot of we have a new product, we have this, we have that, did you know about this, did you know about that? But you see very little back and forth between the customer and the company or the brand, right? So that is a theme that's constantly running throughout the book, is engaging. Also, you're more influential than you may realize. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so true. Because, I mean, I'm a mother, and I've got 2 little ones, and just little things, you don't think that they're grasping, and you don't think that they're picking up little nuances, little, behaviors, little stances, and they're picking it up. So we're a lot more influential than we realize. So that's in person. How much more in the web? I mean, the World Wide Web, right? So I really, really, really like that about this book also. His case studies, his examples that he provides are really good. And it's not just kind of this company did this. No. And a lot of these companies are companies that he's worked with also. Some of the case studies are really, really good. In terms, like, for example, how to use Twitter instead of just, hi, I'm tweeting today, I just stepped on a bug, or, anything, some things that are really not all that substantial. But he tells you how to measure success with Twitter. And you're thinking, like, how do I mean, that's Twitter. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's these analytics and whatnot, but he gives you different websites to refer back to. He breaks it down as to, this is what you can do. And he'll be like, okay, this company did it like this, right? For example, I think it was a small business that he referred to, a small pizza shop that he referred to in the book. Yeah, right here. And Naked Pizza, they had a Twitter account, and what they did is they started marketing to people via the Twitter, and what most company wants to know, what's the return on interest, or ROI. There's something else he puts in there, and I mean, it's not just ROI. There's so many other acronyms, but anyways, I digress. So when he goes to, when he talks about this small company and how they wanted to know that, everybody's hitting on the social media, but not a lot of people really understand the value of it and how to really utilize it. And he explains how this company uses it, and they were able to see the benefits of it, right? And it says right here, but we wanted to know how it can make the cash register ring, right? And when they tracked every phone call, and they were able to measure where it came from, it quickly told them that Twitter was useful. So they were able to go back and measure their success, which is great. I mean, you wouldn't really think that I can do that with Twitter. I mean, I talked to a girlfriend the other day, and I said, oh yeah, I'm doing this new course, and getting some information. And she's like, what's the name of the course? I told her the name of the course, and she's like, what's that? And this is a woman who has a very successful business, and she's been doing it for probably a good 20 years now. And she had no idea that, she's like, oh, that's a thing now? That's community management, social media marketing, that's a thing now? Facebook, Twitter, I mean, for business, that's a thing now? And she's not no, old fogey. I mean, she's young, she's hip, she's vibrant, and I was just like, yeah. So in terms of how this book can really apply to businesses, he's very detailed, and he gives so much case studies, he gives so much examples, he gives so much reference points that if you were going into business, that you can easily go back and utilize. It's not just you go here, you go there, and go there. No, he's actually telling you, if you go to this site, you can measure by this amount, and this will give you your return, which is really good, right? Also, he also talks about how incredible, powerful communities are on the web, right? So maintaining your presence. He talks about brand and how to represent the brand while you're working within the brand and outside, because either way you're still representing, and it's good to do it properly, basically. Right, so he talks about that. He talks about measurement. He talks about things like the conversation prism. Like I said, the man's a genius, I think. Also, I guess one of the one of the really good things that I said I liked about the book is just how he's really human, and he talks a lot about making your brand in your company more humanizing, like especially on the web, because when the web first came out, you don't use all caps, you don't use too many exclamation marks, but it's evolved past so much more than that. People really want to connect with you, and for example, he gave an example, I think it was about Dell or HP, and how people, when they had a problem and they would go on and they would try to get help, if the community is not there, if there's nobody there, if there's nobody facilitating, if there's nobody there that you can go to and talk to online, then your online community starts to dwindle. It starts to become a ghost town, because why am I going to come there all the time if it's not really benefiting me in any which way, right? And it's all about, feeling it, and making sure that you believe it and make it being believable, and allowing people to share the affinity that they have, that you have with the company, right? And having them do that, which is, a lot of the stuff, after reading it, you think, oh yeah, well, I would do that, right? You would think to do that, but he outlines it so beautifully and so simply that it's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. Okay, yeah, one of my favorite movie quotes is, I don't know if it's a quote, but one of my favorite movies is like The Karate Kid, like the original Karate Kid. And at the end, he spends all this time with his sensei, and man's like, okay, go now and fight. He's like, guy, I can't go and fight. I'm paraphrasing. How am I supposed to go and fight? You never taught me anything. All I did was wash your car and do this and do that, right? And he's like, yes, you can. Wipe on, wipe off, wipe on, wipe off, right? And this is so much like how he does it in the book. The very last chapter that I absolutely love, and I'll read it for you, is it's not that page, but basically the very last quote that he tells you, and like I said, it's really, really sweet. And if I could find it for you, it'd be really, really good. Let me just see if I can find it for you, because it would be so awesome. I think I got it. Just bear with me. I don't have it, but I will add it after. The quote is basically in a sense is that we've come together on this journey. This is towards the very end of the book, right? One of the end of the chapters, and he's like, we've come together on this journey. I've now empowered you to go forth and engage, essentially. But then the way he puts it at the end is like, it's almost like, I've taken your hand, we've gone this far, now let's go. There's nothing that's stopping you. You came this far because you had the drive, you had the goal, the ambition to do it, and here we are at the end. I've shared all my wisdom with you, and here we are, and now I'm telling you to go. But it's not just go, you can do it now, you're free. No, it's more like, let's go together. This is a continual walk. The new web is going to be constantly evolving, constantly changing, but what you've got now is you've got a good handle on it, so we can go. Let's go together and let's do this together, because no one is alone in this thing, which I really do love it. Like I said, there are some things in this book that I guess are over my head. Like, really, there's some things that were just, like I said, they're over my head. It was just so much information, because he really does give you a lot. But I really like that it's like, you can do this. You're not alone. I'm with you. And what's also great about this guy is that, excuse me, is that he practices what he preaches. You Google Brian Solis. Excuse me. You Google this guy. You can find him on LinkedIn. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on Twitter. You can read his blog. The guy he makes himself available, which is really good. So I really like this book. And I'll be back. Bye.